No Into Woods threads? Be me. Camp counselor at Boy Scout camp in Michigan. Camp is in the middle of nowhere. At this time there was only a few buildings in the camp. Camp is fucking huge and has 2 lakes in it. In charge of wilderness survival merit badge. Pretty sweet, teach kids how to start fires with batteries and shit like that. Last thing for badge is going into woods for a night and surviving off of nothing but a trash bag. I set up the spot a mile into the woods. Used that spot for like 3 years with no issues. Built a giant ass fort for the hell of it. Proud.gif. Every year I go to check out the site and make sure everything is in order a day before we all go out. Decide to practice what I preach, and take a few kids with me because, never go alone into woods. Kids are stoked because they get a head start on the others. Takes a while to get there, we arrive at like 8 p.m. My fucking fort is trashed. Pissed.jpg. Poles that were like 4 feet in the ground were ripped up. See gash marks on the logs. What the fuck.png. Marks are deep and do not look like a bear. I know this kind of shit. Walk around site and notice these gashes everywhere on trees and rocks. Getting freaked now. Starts to get dark, and me and the kids finish cleaning up the site for tomorrow. Kids asked me what made the mess. Don't want to freak kids out by saying, no fucking clue, I'm spooked, so I just tell them it was a bear or mountain lion or some shit. Believe me. About to walk back. Notice something in the leaves. Fucking ripped up raccoon. Head missing, scratches everywhere. Fresh as delivery pizza. Oh fuck.jpg. Kids see it and start getting scared. Tell them to make a lot of noise as we walk back. Boy Scouts of America doesn't allow guns, but have an M9 bayonet I bought off Army surplus. Make it halfway when we hear a howl. Deep as fuck, not wolf or coyote. Chills down my spine. Start walking faster. Hear howl again. Closer this time. Start power walking with kids. Reach pavilion right as it gets dark. Send kids back to respected campsites. Stay in pavilion kitchen all night. Swear I hear scratching at the door. Don't sleep a wink. Tell my boss the next day a bear just fucked up my campsite. Say it's too dangerous to go back that night. He believes me and I just set up a survival camp in an unused campsite near the pavilion. Kids are stoked that they don't have to go in the woods to get badge. Kids that were with me yesterday are less enthusiastic. Nothing happens the rest of the week, and I pass the kids that went with me even though they didn't do some requirements. Not the first or last thing that happened to me at my years in the camp, but the time where I felt in the most danger. Well, I guess I'll share another story of the BSA camp adventures. Be me. Still camp counselor. Don't do wilderness survival anymore. Do Indian badge. 2010 anniversary shit, and I decided it was cool. Super into Indian legends in Michigan. Kids I teach just do the badge because it's limited edition. Whatever.gif. One kid is really into this shit. Talk to him a lot and he is pretty cool. Let's call him Little Bear. He was fat, black and 13. He is in wilderness survival. That's my shit.png. Friend does the night hike now, and I convince him to bring me along. Fucking astronomy fags go with us as well, due to prior incidents. Won't get into that, but it was a shit show. Stop every 10 minutes to look at gay stars. Get pissed and leave with Little Bear and a few others. Spot is about a half a mile out. Opposite side of the property from 3 years ago. Reasons above. Forest gets super quiet, no bugs or coyotes yipping like normal. Wilderness survival K-prepper instincts tingling. Something's not right. Whip out my knife from my new leather sheath. Leather making was under same pavilion as Indian badge, so I got it for free. Feels good, man. Knife out, flashlight out. Feel like solid snake. Something hits my foot. Fuck.png. It's a rock. Walk for a few more minutes. Kid complains that other kid is throwing shit at him. Other kid denies it and a fight breaks out. Friend breaks them up. Feel another rock hit my back. Shine light. No one there. Get to camp area. Fort V2 is waiting for me. Kids build shelters and then sit by fire. Rocks still now and then hit us or around us. Think it's the astronomy kids fucking with us. At about 2 AM rocks still coming in now and then. It cannot be the kids. Kinda spooked. Little Bear is convinced it's some Indian spirit or mystical animal or some shit. Freaks out the other kids. Thanks a lot, mate. Let all 15 kids into my fort at night. Me and friend attend to fire till dawn. Rocks thrown until like 6 AM. Never see anything. Pack up at 7. Rocks fucking everywhere. How are these many rocks in the forest? My friend asks. We are about a mile from the lake where these stones are normally at. No clue. Little Bear is fucking stoked. Grabs a bunch of rocks as souvenirs. We head back to Pavilion for breakfast. Ask Faggy Astronomy Counselor if he was fucking with us last night. He doesn't even know where my camp was, and was pissed at me for leaving him. Get bitched out by boss. Little Bear and other kids that went in the woods freak out rest of camp at breakfast. Legends begin on how me and my friend fought off Bigfoot with fire defending the fort. Become heroes for no reason. Rest of counselors hate me. My face when Bigfoot fucked up my camp social life. I'm bored, so I'll tell another camp story. Be me. 2 years before camp gets shut down due to BSA politics and pussy city kids that hated the camp. New yurts installed the previous year were finally ready for use. Use my camp connections to rent the yurts before anyone else. Take my troop up to the camp in the middle of winter. They are all pretty stoked as they were the first people to ever use the yurts. Brought sleds because there was a big hill out back. Storm shelter building was at the bottom of the hill. Newly built and used for meeting and shit. Important later. All the kids start to sled and have a great time. Snowmobiles heard in the distance as a trail was a few miles out. The day starts to come to an end and the wind starts to pick up. Snow starts falling like crazy. Kinda weird since the weather was supposed to be clear. We have yurts though, so fuck it. Play Risk with kids, super fun strategy game. One of the kids tell me he hears an engine. It's a snowmobile. It's like 2 AM right now and storming, so I am puzzled. Snowmobile gets louder until it pulls up at our yurts. 2 guys get off and run to the yurt I'm in. Notice that they are well off right off the bat, new snowmobile and gear. Explain to me that one of their snowmobiles hit a tree and they were trying to get back to the town. Look a bit jumpy. Pin it on being city kids in the woods at night. Let them sleep over for the night. Start to hear a low howl. Different from the wind. Pretty close. Think some coyotes are looking for shelter. Hear scratching on the side of the yurt. Yup, definitely trying to get warmth. Hear the scratching getting higher on the yurt. What the fuck? PNG. Hear it on the roof now. Mildly freaking out as I hear it until like 6 AM. No sleep that night. Get up first as morning breaks and go outside. Area all around the 2 yurts we are in is all trampled down. Snow from the roof is all over the ground. Snowmobile bros wake up a bit later. Treat them to a Boy Scout breakfast. Nice guys. I offer to go help them fix their own snowmobile and bring it back. They agree. I get on the old camp snowmobile with one of the more mechanically inclined scouts. Leave scouts with other scoutmaster. Follow the slight indent of the snowed over tracks. Notice there are holes in the middle of the tracks filled in with snow. Kinda weird, but whatever. Get to snowmobile. Takes forever to dig it out. The thing is fine, the bumper is cracked but it runs just fine. Look at snowmobile bros for answers. Say they were trying to drag the snowmobile back on the trail when they heard a throaty howl close by. Got on the other sled and noped it out of there. Swear that they heard it following. Both visibly freaking themselves out. Helped them get snowmobile back on the power line trail that we were on. Drive back to yurts, no issues. Get back. One of the yurts had collapsed. Empty one. Oh fuck, I'm in trouble. Ask other scoutmaster what happened. She was at the bottom of the hill and did not notice until later. Tried to fix it unsuccessfully. Snowmobile bros thank me and fuck off. When pondering what I'm going to say to the camp staff on duty, a kid walks up and starts talking to me. Kid asked about the roof last night. Told him it was an owl trying to get warm. He doesn't believe me. No problems all day. Starts to get dark and the other scoutmaster starts bitching about the safety of the yurts. She wants to go back but I don't. We compromise on staying in the storm shelter / meeting room at night. Move all our shit. Start playing Risk. Start hearing howl again. It's not the wind. Kids start joking about paranormal legends and Indian shit. Start freaking each other out. Howl is at the top of the hill where the yurts are. Look up through a window to see what's up there. See a shape on the top of the hill. Can't make it out until it turns around and I see eye reflections. Nope.png, so I pull the shades on all the windows. Tired as fuck and have the startings of a cold, so I take NyQuil and pass out. In the morning I wake up and the troop is already up. Strange for them because they always sleep in and I have to bitch at them. Apparently they were up all night. Something scratched at the walls and roof and huddled together. Other scoutmaster was with them. Tried to wake me but I was out cold. Outside there was scratches on the door and windows. No idea what the fuck it was. Remember 5 years ago at my fort? Same fucking scratches. Nope, out of there with the rest of my troop. Tell staff that the storm blew down a yurt. They are puzzled because yurts are set up in a way where they are extremely hard to knock over. I have no idea how yurts work, so I take it at face value. They have to replace yurt. My boss in the summer was pissed at me all year because he thought I had somehow done it. Okay, one from when I first started the job. Bunyan Lake is opposite tree line in the peak. Be me. B20. Shadowing other camp counselor for wilderness survival. Old guy was in Korean War, long beard, wears battle dress uniform but nice enough. Kinda nervous about teaching kids. Week before camp opens, and we need to set up everything. Camp counselors do swim test, health inspections etc. Lake is spooky cause you can't see the bottom, and it drops to 10 feet immediately. Smaller lake next to it, it's past this lake where my original spot was. There is a campsite in between these lakes on a hill called Mount Pasco. Furthest used camp from Pavilion, there is another but some incidents got it shut down. Me and wilderness survival mentor are putting up the canvas tents for the scouts. All of a sudden my mentor tells me to stop what I'm doing and be quiet. Sounds frantic. Jumpy.jpg. Get down with him. Tells me to look over at Lake Bunyan. Look over there. Don't see shit. Whisper, what is it? He insists he saw something. Think he is trying to freak me out, because I am new. Continue setting up camp. Every so often, he looks over the ridge to where he saw something. Few days go by, he teaches me in a wood shit. We go into the woods and he teaches me about animal sounds, tracks, edible berries, etc. Tells me about experiences with Bigfoot and shit. Think he is joking, but he looks dead serious. We go fishing one morning at Lake Bunyan. Best fishing spot, because the big lake is always fished out every year by scouts. We both sit on an old dock and he tells me his war stories in Korea. He perks up, suddenly, and looks down the small trail we got here on. Ask him what's up. It's nothing, just getting old. OK.png? Continue fishing and catch a few. Fishing merit badge people are in the same tent, so we plan to bring them to show off. Hear rustling behind us. My mentor hears it too. Think shit, it's a bear. Me and mentor scanning the tree line. Rock rolls to the edge of the dock. Mentor get real quiet. Whispers, Anon drop the bucket. Put the bucket on dock post. Tells me to slowly walk with him and make myself look big. 6'4", so I don't have trouble with that. Slowly walk around the lake opposite the rock until we get to Mount Pasco. Walk in complete silence until we pass Mount Onion where other counselors are at. He tells them we saw a bear and to walk with us back to the pavilion. Later I ask if that was a bear. Skeptical because of the tossed rock. He tells me we will find out tomorrow. What the fuck does that mean? Next day rolls around and we head back to Old Dock. Post where the fish had been is uprooted from the water and the rest of the dock is submerged. Bucket is gone. No, it wasn't a bear. Anon never elaborates for the rest of the summer. Nothing else happens. To this day I think he knew something about that camp and didn't want to scare me off. That's the last weird story I have. Got plenty of weird kids, devil worshipper, drunk Indian, paranoid schizo, lost kids, and others, but no more blatantly weird shit happened to me. I heard stories from other counselors though. Earlier I said how I stopped doing wilderness survival and my friend took my place. This story comes from the other counselor that was shadowing him. My friend had shadowed me previously and believes this completely, and he wasn't the type of guy to lie, or be into paranormal shit, so this is the most credible shit I have for you guys. Let's just call this guy Kyle and my friend Jeff. I'll try and green text this but it might seem awkward, because I was not the one experiencing this. Be Kyle. New counselor at camp. My mentor is new at being the head of the merit badge, so we are both a little bit nervous. His friend Anon helps out a lot. He constantly tries to fuck with me with old legends and stories about the area and scratches my tent at night. Me being a dick is important later. Constantly jumps out with me on the trail at night and laughs when I scream. The night before, the night hike comes around and we go to inspect the campground. Jeff tells me to be on the lookout for Anon as he always likes to come, but for some reason was busy today. We get to the site and I see a giant ass fort. Jeff jokes about fending off Bigfoot in the fort before. We both laugh but his laughter does not seem genuine, his eyes give it away. Clean up campsite, and drag a couple of logs from the woods near the clearing for the scouts to discover when building their structures. Jeff gets radio call halfway through and needs to get back to the pavilion. I say I can finish up here. Okay, but remember to update me on radio every few minutes so I know where you are. I was a terrible mentor and Jeff didn't learn the buddy system. Keep cleaning up, dragging logs, etc. Then I hear it. Rustling in the leaves. Look over quickly. Nothing. Just the wind.png. Near fort finishing up when I hear it again at the edge of the clearing. Then I hear it a low groan. Anon. Hear a deep howling noise and a bunch of branches breaking. Nope.png. Fucking bolt back to the general direction of the pavilion. Hear it behind me. Keeping steady distance away from me, never getting too close. Screaming profanities. Run for a mile until I see the pavilion. Look behind me. Nothing. Don't remember when it stopped following me. Adrenaline pumping. Nurse comes out. Kyle. Are you okay? What's wrong? I frantically ask where Anon is. I don't know, try the radio. Just remember I have a radio on my belt. Call in voice shaking still. Anon, you there? Hear my boss. No, Anon left this afternoon. I sent him into town to pick up pizzas for the staff dinner. What.png. I am freaked out. Tell Jeff. He gives me a knowing look and says that I probably got chased by one of the wild pigs around here. That was no pig. Refused to go to the survival night hike. Ask Anon if it was him fucking with me. Tells me no one has receipts from stores to prove it. Anon stops fucking with me. Yeah, so this was the most credible story I have, besides my own shit, because Kyle was fucking terrified and made me replace him for the night hike. He quit the next year and I have never seen him since. Fuck it, why not? I'll tell one more then I'm going to black out. Be me. Doing wilderness survival badge. Have this Indian kid walk in first day. Dressed in full fucking garb. Pig related. Kid is stoked about the badge. Keeps telling me about his ancestors and shit. I'm a fucking nerd, so I am interested. Start class, and kid is going off about how to summon his ancestors in the fires and shit. Kid comes in blasted on more than one occasion. When we are doing the fire starting bit, he tries to call on the spirits for aid, and starts rubbing sticks together. Starts chanting in the native language. Creeps all the other kids out. He keeps chanting, slowly getting louder and more frantic. Fire starts. Instead of blowing it, he jumps up, starts clapping and dancing around smoldering fire. Thing fucking lights like you put gas on it. Burns almost immediately as it's only kindling. As fire goes out, so does his dancing and chanting. He drops like a rock and I have to take him to the infirmary. Nurse says he had been drinking. He gets booted from the camp as there was a no alcohol policy and he was a minor. He was a fucking weirdo, always had creepy Indian stories and did other weird shit. Okay, kinda paranormal related, but I think the kid was just a nut job. This is why I hate all the tulpa shit. Be me. Doing wilderness survival shit. First day there is this kid, let's call him Blondie, because he had bleach blonde hair. Blondie I could tell was a loner right away. Stayed by himself at the end of the table away from the other kids. He kept on muttering shit to himself all day. What the fuck? PNG. Ask him if he had a question. No, but Steven does. Who the fuck is Steven? He is my spirit friend. I give him this look. Kid is serious. Creeps out all the other kids, because he goes from muttering to talking to this imaginary friend later in the week. Kid has full-blown conversations with this figment of his imagination. Night hike rolls around and none of the kids want him to come due to the creepiness of Blondie. I can't really stop him because he did everything fine and was never any problem. Make some kid be in his group, because I assigned 2 people and Steven didn't count. Later that night I'm super cozy in Fort V2 when I hear a banging on my door. It's Blondie's partner literally crying. Oh shit, what did he do? Kid tells me that Blondie talked to himself until he convinced himself that I was a monster that brought kids in the woods and ate them. Blondie started urging his partner to help him sharpen sticks in order to kill me and escape. Kid was fucking freaked and Blondie was really pushy about it, getting mad and threatening to kill the kid too. Kid came running to warn me. I am pretty pissed at this point, because I had been sleeping great, and this little shit had gone and let his crazy loose. Met Blondie outside. He had his sharpened stick and started autistically screeching at me. I preemptively strike and knock the fucker down. Other kids restrain him and I have to walk a mile back to the campsite with this crazy fuck. Get back to the campsite, my boss and Blondie's troop leader are there, radioed it in. Kid gets booted a day before camp ends. Well, I'm supposed to be grading history tests, but fuck it, I'll tell of another strange kid. I call him the Bigfoot Commando. Be me. First day of doing orienteering badge. Uses same tent as wilderness survival, so there are a lot of crossover kids. One kid shows up first day full operator. /K approves shit. Not the strangest thing I have ever seen, so I think he is just some rural kid showing off. Really into Bigfoot. Ask my friend Jeff and me about our fight with it, kinda became a legend. We tell him the real story, but that excites him more. Starts rattling off all these Bigfoot facts. I like it when kids are engaged, so Jeff and I tell him about our stories, same ones in this thread. Jeff had a few more. Kid is fucking ecstatic. Ask if we could find Bigfoot when orienteering in the woods. Tell him we might come across him as a joke. Kid takes me 100% seriously. To be fair, when I say kid, I mean he was like 17. On the day when we are going in the woods for orienteering, he shows up full ghillie suit. He said it was so he could be more stealthy. OK.png? We start, and the kids start going to the marker I had previously set. I stay back to let the kids find them by themselves. Eventually, K Incarnate's partner comes up to me. He has no idea where Commando is. Oh fuck. JPEG. Gather all the kids. K is not present. Fuck. Send all the kids back. Call reinforcements. Missing camper protocol engaged. We start combing the forest. I'm fucking losing it, because after 9 years I have never personally lost a camper. Then it dawns on me. Fort V1. I book it with Jeff to the old campsite. Start calling the kid, looking around. It's getting dark, so we don't have much time before we need to call the police. Then I hear it. An bush stands up near the campsite. I'm pissed and start screaming at the kid for leaving, making me worry, being a shithead, etc. Explains to me that he wanted to find the Bigfoot that I ran into. He had a camera and everything. Radio in that he was okay. Drag him back to camp. Drill into him in wood survival skills with Jeff for the next 4 days. Kid is super cool, but still wears a plate carrier, BDUS and other /K shit. Comes back next year not wearing operator shit and seems completely normal, never brings up Bigfoot ever again.